Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode, we're to be studying a piece by the career digital illustrator known as Jocelin Carmes. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about grand scale, realistic texture, and we're also going to talk about the James Webb Telescope and our rise to grand new heights. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, you're met with this lone streak of light of a rocket taking away far in the distance. The viewer's first impression is likely one of awe due to having seen such a striking and stunning sight before us here. What you also may notice, of course, is the layout of the composition. We see this in near-symmetrical order. The majority of this scene is quite symmetrical in placement, albeit, of course, not perfect symmetry, so symmetry there. This gives a sense of balance, a sense of order, and of course a harmonious visual experience as well. What you may also notice is this sense of color here. It's absolutely stunning. I'm actually going to bring in the color wheel to give us a bit of a reference. It's what we would call a split complementary scheme, essentially. So what we see here, of course, you have these purples, these blues, these stunning colors. Really, I really don't see any green. So purple and blue there. And then within that, you have red, orange, kind of a yellowish as well. So when we look at this here, of course, blues and purples, straight across from that scheme is going to be yellows, oranges, and reds. So the impact of this, of course, the blue and the purple are going to feel quite balanced, but what allows that stunning contrast is going to be across the color wheel. So we see this most evidently in that stunning kind of fluorescent oranges, yellow, red color. So absolutely stunning, and of course that contrast, of course, emphasizes the impact of this main subject and center there. What you may also notice is a stunning sense of texture. Although this is quite cartoonish, it feels incredibly realistic, right? We see this everywhere from the immense detail on these kind of shrubs and foliage all the way to the roiling smoke of the rocket taking off far in the distance. Even far in the sky, we see this kind of dusted cosmic sky that also gives us a sense of texture as well. All in all, this immerses us within the scene quite masterfully. Like I said, it is a cartoonish work, yet simultaneously we have this sense of realism. It feels incredibly realistic as well. So I think that's important here. We talked a little bit about this sense of scale, right? This incredibly grand sense of scale. It just dwarfs us instantly. We also see this kind of lone subject who appears to be observing this, maybe even with a telescope looking at the stars. It's absolutely stunning, to be able to look at this would just be an absolute blessing. So scale, of course, when we see this grand scale, it's going to give us a sense of the status of the scene at hand, right? When we watch a rocket take off, it really reminds us of the true size and scale of it all. So I think that also conveys that quite masterfully. There's really no doubt that light is one of the most definitive elements of the work at hand, right? Most evidently in this central streak. The result of this, of course, invigorates a spatial composition with this sense of albeit most concentrated in that central area as well. And so this central streak really draws the eye, right? No matter where you look at this work, even if I'm looking up in the corner, my eye is instantly drawn there as well. There really is no escaping this element within the composition. This rocket, of course, rockets almost always carry a payload of some kind into space, whether going to the ISS or whether they're delivering a satellite. It's absolutely stunning. And to date, to see a rocket launch has been rather rare, right? Back in the past, they've been extremely rare, months, even years apart from each other. But now we have rocket launches really every other week, or of course, across the world in so many different ways. And of course, leading this charge is going to be the American company SpaceX, who's really created this kind of reusability as has absolutely changed the game. So with this in mind, the rarity of having seen a rocket take off is getting a lot less rare and a lot more common. So I think that's a really good thing, kind of commercializing spaceflight and bringing it a lot closer to the price of the average consumer. Of course, it's a lot farther. It's going to be hundreds of thousands right now to go to space, but eventually we truly hope that that can get down to maybe, $12,000, which is a lot more affordable, maybe like a one-time trip by the middle class. I think that's incredibly interesting here. And of course, there is no doubt that watching a rocket launch feels like absolute magic, right? And we see the magic within this composition. There's this sense that it's kind of going off into the realm of the divine. This cosmic sky is just absolutely stunning. So all in all, these all work together to convey that quite masterfully, right? There is this, like I said, this grand sense of scale, and that cosmic sky, it just reminds us of the true size and scale of it all. And so this is actually it's kind of a promotion for the Arcane Group for the James Webb Telescope. And the James Webb Telescope is absolutely historic. I believe it's created to be even farther than the Hubble. So we're about to get some stunning views of far, far, far into the universe there. And of course, as we look farther into the universe, as far as light travels, we can look deeper and deeper into time, maybe even to the origins of the universe itself, right? So there is no doubt that we're witnessing these grand new heights, and right, let us soar to that with grand new innovation, with grand new inventions, and of course, a higher unity as we remind ourselves that we all share the same Earth at the end of the day. And so really hope y'all enjoyed today. This is an absolutely stunning piece. We talked about everything from the impact of the James Webb Telescope all the way to spaceflight, central streak of light, this kind of split complementary color scheme, so many different things we hit on today. I truly hope y'all enjoyed. And I forgot to mention, this is a digital illustration, so it was created in the program known as Procreate. Really a very powerful and very popular program. If you want to create on a screen, kind of painstakingly, well, this artist, for example, this incredible detail, painstakingly created that digital illustration. But if you want to get into the world of kind of digital paint and illustrating on a screen, I would surely recommend Procreate. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all did, go check out the original artist, Jocelin Carmes, doing some amazing stuff in the world of digital illustration, and of course also creating commissions for some incredibly historic projects, some massive companies as well. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.